Okay, it's in David's name, sure, but what about you? What about? So it's really a bad look.
Shit, what did I say before? Man, somebody knows. Somebody does. They do. But now I want to know who. And I know, broad level question. It's like, yeah, we all do want to know who as well. But seriously, with this though, only, again, like Traveler Ross was saying, only one person, better yet, even before that, there's only one key to this LA house that they're releasing. David was on tour. There was somebody going in and out of this crib. That one person could only be the one with the key. Okay, that same person with this key, since their red Tesla was in the house, would have, I'm assuming, access to that key to the Tesla. Wouldn't it be at the house? Who knows? I don't know. But presuming that as well, right? Who is that? Because without a shadow of a doubt, especially with, we're presuming that, you know, the Tesla, the black one, is still just sitting there like on the block, collecting, not even. They know something. Yo, I'm telling you, it just gets me more and more and more mad. Like, it is truly frustrating. Like, we need to know who that is immediately. I mean, actually ASAP. Is there anything faster? Expedited shipping. I'll pay express. But we need it now. Like, yo, this is insane. Like, what? Oh, well. You already know what it is, baby. You've seen title and thumbnail. It seems as though that there is a major update within the whole David incident, the David tragedy. But of course, first, a little backstory. You already know, last time we checked out any Jones going on within the David incident, we of course watched Traveler Ross, TLR, our hip-hop commentary goat. We're watching him again today, so you already know. We're gonna share love when we get into the video. Factual. But to that, we were going over the whole standpoint of, you know what I'm saying, David, obviously within this whole incident going on, there is a definite factor that he had hired them 3-star hunters we talked about, Bear Blurking him. So it's definitely going to be the factor of going to criminal trial. But there was also the factor of if, like, per se, Celeste's family were to sue David, you know what I'm saying, in civil court, that, yeah, he also transferred, you know what I'm saying, his 2 houses and such like that, his assets to his mother. So he's obviously not trying to lose those because, you know, if he gets sued in civil court, ooh, they come in for restitution for them assets. And if it ain't in liquid cash and the munties, yeah, they're coming for the physicals, and that's going to be the cribs. So we know about that. But, of course, within this major update, oh yeah, I've heard it's been crazy. I've heard that there's been like a private investigator involved. There's some Johns going on with David's Tesla, some, you know what I'm saying, updates about Celeste within this whole update, you know what I'm saying. Surely repeats himself, but you know what I mean, within this whole, you know what I'm saying, recent news coming out about the whole incident. Yeah, there's a lot to see here, apparently. So of course you don't want Trilly to be wasting no time, because I'm sure this boy is a yap sesh. Every single one is. Trilly talks everything. Trilly does indeed yap everything every single time. Let's see what the new major updates are in the David incident. Of course, like we said in the intro, shout out to love with TLR Traveler Ross. Okay, baby. Getting that info. We got dark new evidence might cook David. D4vd. Hey, well, if you ask me, he's been cooked. Anyway, to that though, you already know. Of course, you guys want to watch the OG video because, like I said in the intro and every vid, layap sesh down in the description. First link, showed all over the course, Traveler Ross. So, if you don't want that layap, you know what I'm saying, you need to get the conjecture yourself. Of course, it'll be there. But anyway, like I say in every vid, not a second to waste. We need this info immediately.
Okay, people, it's looking like we've got a huge David update, okay, for the first time in a good few days, maybe a week. It's the first time that some new information
It's not a good time, it's not a long time, you know,
popped out that everybody is talking about, everybody is analyzing. I'm going to break it all down for you in this video. Okay, I've got a whole bunch of links lined up. I'm going to share everything with you, but people are saying that David might be cooked after this.
Definite, again. There's so many connections. So many. Again, Decide, striped sweater connection, the tattoos. Island trips clip, the streams. It's too much. Way too much.
New evidence comes out. They're saying that the OD theory might be out of the window. There might be another property that David had in the area.
No matter what, that was out of the window, because again, heads were just stopping at the factor of like the OD like scenario, like, you know, I guess not motive or whatever, but like in the case in point that were to be like the scenario hypothetically allegedly that happened. Yeah, it's like, okay, if that were to be the case, she ODs. Where did she get the drugs? Where did she get the money for the drugs? It's like, yo, we're gonna look more into that. I don't even know why. Like, what would that be definitive on?
Yeah.
Like, it would be her cause of death, but then it's like, okay, there would be things that led up to that. You like, are we forgetting that?
Might have been living nearby, and yeah, this is just looking really, really bad. Okay, if some of this stuff checks out, David might be cooked, might be over with. Okay, so people are saying that this new evidence truly might change everything. Okay, so look, people are saying, can someone
real quick, hold on, let me fix that.
confirm if this is true or not? Somebody posted, after weeks of silence in the shocking death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, new surveillance footage of singer David's Tesla has surfaced, and it changes everything. The private investigator who uncovered the video says it shows exactly when and where the luxury car was abandoned in the Hollywood Hills with Celeste's body inside.
New surveillance footage of singer David's Tesla. Like, is it footage of the Tesla, or is it like what? You know, because we were talking about within the Tesla video itself, you know, Tesla video also has a timeline. Go over that. But like, yeah, Teslas have like, you know, the Century mode and have cameras all over the car. So we were trying to see like if they had ended up, you know, saying getting access to that and then within the car's records, see if that footage would show something, which, you know, I would assume it would. But it sounds like this is like from CCTV or something like that. But
The LAPD has the footage. They know who parked that Tesla, but they're not saying a word. In this episode of Drop Dead Serious, Ashley Banfield breaks down the bombshell evidence, the growing pressure on investigators, and what this new video could mean for the case against David, okay? People are saying, isn't this literally a heads up for the killer to run away or something? They're saying the evidence, this new information is so good that if, like, the LAPD wouldn't have wanted David to know this, and he might actually be running away. They're saying this is why the cops don't tell us nothing.
And that was something we were theorizing too when he first like started deading the house. I'm stupid. Deading the lease on the house he had in LA, the one he was paying $20K a month for, that like his manager like had under his name, but obviously, you know, David was living in, saying like, yo man, it looks like he trying to dip out, brother. He leaving his crib in LA and all this junk, bro. Like, what is going on? Like,
this could hurt their investigation, but I don't know. All right. So they're saying that this could be major. All right. They're saying, but when I posted a YouTuber covering the case with potentially new info, I was gagged and hanged by this damn Reddit server who chanted, mods, delete this. You guys believe whatever BS you want in this server and discredit whoever you want. It's all BS until the police back the information, okay? That's basically what is going on in this video. I'm going to show you the information, okay? People are saying, I'm just going to say it's David in that vehicle. If not, then it might have been someone he told to move the vehicle, but I'm still convinced only David had a motive and a reason to kill this little girl, but it's too late. Everybody now knows he dated a child. Now the whole world.
D4vd 445. Do not let him go off of that, because I tell heads, bro, all the time, especially for them David G boys. We haven't talked about this in a while, so you know I can clear this up for these heads again. There's 3 levels within this for David. There is his base just association to Celeste. There is D4vd 445 pink, you know what I'm saying? The pink, the Instagram DMs with the pink background. I fucking hate thinking about that shit. Ugh. But like, yeah, the DMs with Celeste and her friend with the pink background or whatever, D4vd 445, and then there's, you know, hypothetically, allegedly, if, you know what I'm saying, David is the one that took the life of Celeste. No matter what, stamped in right now, it's looking like 1 and 2, confirmed. Confirmed, undeniable, like, yeah, bro, you're cooked on that no matter what. That's exactly why, like, yo, my motive for him, again, I talk about this all the time too, TLDR on this, like, just lose scenario. He realized he fucked up his life, he fucked up his PR and optics, there was no way out of this, so the only way he was truly getting on this, especially off of the, you know what I'm saying, oh, it's wifey in it, when wifey gets in a Discord, you know what I'm saying, short story, because, you know, again, decide to save your tears, 7 years, 18, you was gonna get married 18, the engagement ring, and Hello Kitty girl, I'm right, Hello Kitty girl Instagram, the stripe sweater connection, John. Like, bro, he just knew it was done, so then, like, going off of this, allegedly, hypothetically, this is why he would be in this scenario. But yeah, nah, he's cooked. But going back to that again for the G boys, these David G boys, it's fucking crazy, bro. David is innocent, bro. I'm hoping he's innocent. Yeah, innocent on what? Innocent on what? You got it. Which one out of the 3? Innocent on what? We don't know for 3, and we definitely know for first 2. Pathetic.
is a pred. Okay, so this is another post. This was probably the biggest post that's been going around the David sphere in the last day. It says, exclusive, David private investigator knows who moved the Tesla with the body in the trunk. Okay, and people are saying whoever moved the car right now must be sweating. Okay, someone's saying, I literally called it in my new post before the video dropped. It probably happened at the old place that he was renting for $6,000. We at a tipping point. They're saying, when did he move into the last rental? 2024 February. Okay.
Is that on the timeline? Hold on. Real quick. I just want to look at that because I don't remember hearing anything. Like, just going back real quick.
Okay, the tipping point.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing anything about an old place he was renting for $6K. Because all I know is that he has the 2 houses in Texas, and that like he has the house in LA that he was paying $20K a month for. But I didn't hear about this. Yeah, let's see, maybe that's on the timeline.
They're saying, when did he move?
Yeah, it's February 2024. All right, where's this at?
Body was estimated to.
Let's see. No, it's 2025. Jesus Christ, like, brother, how long do you be yapping, bro? You always talking some shit, bro. I swear to God. All right, let me see. Yo, it's still not here. Jesus. All right. That's how you know this fool never shuts up, bro. Jeez. February 2024. What do we got here? No, I'm covering myself again. This is directly what I was saying earlier. These hello going on here. So yeah, like logging all this stuff down, like, and having like this chart right here, definitely good.
It does paint another deep picture.
Hey man, at least we kept stamping that in. But yeah, hold on. I want to move it to the side.
That's going on, and people are trying.
Because in February 2024, like this is all we got for there. So we got David when he posted Hello Kitty girl, John in the Valentine's Day. This is when Celeste runs away for the first time, I believe. Let me see. Yeah. Because you can see right under it. This is when she comes back a month after. And then because this is coming off of the thing that the teacher was saying, where like Celeste runs away the first time and then she returns after a month and then she's telling everybody the story and all that, and then she runs away again, and then that's obviously everything unfolds to the incident, to this tragedy. But yeah, we were not knowledgeable on that on the timeline. So hey, that might be some new info, or at least new info to me. So be able to refer back to that.
Into the last rental, 2024 February. Okay, so yeah, this is crazy. So there's a few clips from this interview that are pretty interesting that I'm going to play to you, and he seems to hint, basically, this is the private investigator who'd been hired by the landlord, you know, the very well-known, all right, investigator that's been tweeting a lot about everything that's been going on, and he's basically going to explain some of the exclusive evidence that he's got that might give him an inkling about what was really going on with that car and the body.
To be honest with you, we don't have any evidence that anything happened to us at that house, but there's definitely evidence that we've collected that helps the timeline. We now have a much better understanding of when that Tesla arrived.
Just looking at the timeline. Telling you, that's why I said. Funny enough, I literally said on that clip too, this is why we needed the timeline and all that.
At that final parking spot, I'll tell you, I do have surveillance from different houses in the neighborhood showing Tesla being moved. So things like that, and I'm not even saying that LAPD didn't have that. I'm sure they did, but we wanted to make sure, and and we did some work on the up-resing the footage to find out who was driving the vehicle. And there are some other items that were found at the house that weren't taken during the search warrant. And search warrants are limited, right? So that they can't just go take everything. It's what the judge, and we don't know how broad that search warrant was because we haven't seen it, and that's what we like to see. But there were some things that were not taken into custody of LAPD that we think are significant, and including digital media and some other things that are really.
That's what I'm saying, and obviously, like you just said, like they're barred, so they can't obviously take everything. But even still, to like know that there's things inside his crib or whatever, like even during the raid, that. This junk could be helpful. We gotta skip out on it. That would be eating me alive. Oh my God, it would be absolutely just eating me, bro. I'd be like, we need to go get this stuff. That motherfucker. It's always the G boys for me. It's never it definitely is the bull for him, because again, like we said, separate the art from the artist. Hilarious. You want to tell another joke? Nah, we won't be doing that. Listen, we can't Kanye this situation, bro. And Kanye, we already know how Kanye be. But we still gonna listen to Graduation, you know what I'm saying? All that beat, Heartbreak, all that beat. Life of Pablo, all that John. But yeah, we know how it is for Kanye. But for D4vd, I'll be damned. That been stopped actually. That should have stopped the day the incident came out, like legitimately.
Help nail down timeline and things like that.
So he is saying that there were things that the police didn't take, or perhaps that the police couldn't take, that they did take, that on behalf of the homeowner, you know, they have taken and they think are actually relevant. They actually could be interesting, and then they could contribute to understanding what went on behind the scenes.
And you handed that over to LAPD. There's other.
We have the day that we the things that we've recovered, we've given to LAPD within 24 hours. You know.
Do you know who was driving that car, that Tesla? You don't have to tell me, but do you know the identity?
Yeah, as far as going to the final, that what we believe is the final parking spot where it was towed from, yes.
He says he knows.
Man. It looks like it gets closer and closer. The walls close in for D4vd, David. It seems as though, okay, we're pushing closer to knowing exactly who, just not even funny. Like, now that I think about this, John, because when I'm thinking about the motives, bruh, one of the motives I said was like, yo, he would get someone else to do this, John. And especially like going even like tailoring back into my motive of like lose-lose scenario. If he's trying to save his optics as much as possible, obviously he cannot be the one, and like allegedly, hypothetically, be like take the life of Celeste. Because if you're definitely stamped in, you're the one who did it, like David himself. Brother, like, nigga, you're 23 hours a day, nigga, you're never gonna see the fucking light of the sun ever again, right? Like, you're done. But obviously somebody else does this. I mean, he would still be cooked in that relative regard, but they wouldn't hit him, I don't think, at least in the courts, especially after this Diddy shit. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? They probably wouldn't hit him as hard as that, John, which would be unfortunate in that case. But he's probably still would get hella years dug, because planning to do this, like premeditated and all that, still would cook the fuck out of you. But bro, we've been waiting for stuff like this, bro. I swear, bro. Because we kept saying, somebody fucking knows some shit. And whoever was driving this fucking Tesla, boy, they know a lot of shit. Get these motherfuckers in an interrogation room ASAP, effective immediately.
He knows who was driving that Tesla to the final parking spot. He says, we know, okay, and this is going to be major. Now, he doesn't end up saying who it is, but basically he says, we know who was driving that car when it was moved, and this is going to be major.
And that information's been communicated to law enforcement.
So it's been given to law enforcement. They're not going to tell us if they're confirming if that's the person or not. Robbery, homicide, the way they work is we'll take your information. We're not going to speak on it, so I don't know. But listen, it's very clear that that neighborhood is filled with surveillance cameras, and the timelines, once we learn.
I'm about to say, like, of course it would be, like, up in the hills, like, yo, these houses is worth millions up in this joint. You think Bull's not gonna have ring cams, all these different joints, bro? Yo, you gotta make sure your joint's secured down, bruh. When you in the wealthy streets, heads already know, hey, everybody here got munties. Like, bro, what are we talking about? Bro, new toys not working? Anyway, like, yo, everybody here got money. Never, like.
Those dates, and we can see other things that were happening that were even public on Instagram and whatnot, or going on in those people's lives. It makes a lot of sense.
So he's saying that there's other properties with surveillance cameras that are capturing the footage of who's coming and going in that house around the neighborhood beyond the surveillance cameras that were actually taken from the home. Okay, that is pretty major. And so he's about to talk about how the body ended up wound up in the car in that particular position, and he's going to give some more interesting insights.
So let me ask you this: if you see when the car was parked there, have you seen anything to indicate that Celeste's body was transferred into that car after the car was parked there? Or in other words, do you believe that her body was in that car the minute it was parked in the location it was ultimately towed from?
So I'll say I have no evidence of a body being transferred before or after. There's no evidence of that at all. What I will say, when it was moved to that position, it was already like that. So that car had not been used in a very long time. It was super dirty, caked on dirt. I'll tell you, this was in late July. So it's bizarre because we also got media that the car was used a lot. David even spoke about it in Instagram videos. He took it to a detail shop and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden.
Yeah, and this is substantiated. We know this because of the, wouldn't it be in this vid? Am I stupid? Oh yeah, of course it would be in this vid. Can we get the exact? I'm trying to see if we have the pictures of David. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And we know this because about the connection with David paying off the children, you know what I'm saying, or the jits that were in Celeste's neighborhood, like her supposed friends or heads like that. That like obviously he was around like her neighborhood in her area, and you can see within this, like, my bad, let me move myself. Yo, Bull, can you move out the way? Like, yo, this fool always taking up the space, Bryce. Bro, you're gonna piss me off, I swear. Anyway, but you can see David right here, and then, like, if, let me see, where's the actual picture? Well, there's a better view of it there. Everybody, let me go full screen for this. Like, yeah, you can see it more there, and then, yeah, and then there's the picture of him, like, where he's definitely, like, doing some type of exchange going on with these jits. And then if you know, like, over here, this is, you can see the hills and John like that. If we go back over to, where's the news reporter guy? Let me see. Yeah, you can see how there's also like these hills in the background. Is there the other angle? Yeah, you could see like all these hills in the background, and then going back to here with the picture. Where is it at? Yep, like you could tell that this is definitely in like the same neighborhood where Celeste obviously lived, like her block, or like right across, or like just around that general area. You definitely know it's around here. So that is looking not good.
From the very beginning of the year, that car, something happens, and that car's doesn't show up anymore. It's not used. It seems to disappear. And then that red Tesla learned, which we didn't know until the search warrant was served, that there's a red Tesla in the garage, which I can tell you was at least on February 1st.
Very,
So yeah, 2 Teslas.
very interesting. He says he usually had his cars detailed. He usually had his Tesla pretty clean. And then for some reason at the start of the year, he stopped driving that car. Okay, and it ends up getting moved to that position potentially in July, but he got a lease on another Tesla, a red Tesla that we haven't seen, that he's been driving since February. Why would he want to stop driving that particular car? Who knows?
Wait, yo, I feel like I just had a fucking brain blast. Yo, I'm feeling like Jimmy Neutron. Like, I actually had a brain blast. I'm like, wait, what? Like, wait. So I didn't, first of all, that was info that I guess like now we're clued into. I don't know if y'all knew that before me, but I did not know this. So he's driving around a whole nother red Tesla and all that type of beat. Right. Meanwhile, this car was sitting there like in front of the house for like what we know, like 3 weeks up to like a month before it gets towed and all that type of beat. Yo, this absolutely fries him. Yo, just like Trapper Ross was just saying, yo, David, yo, big bro. Brother, why you not driving a black Tesla no more? What's in the car? What's wrong with the car? Yo, want to take that boy to the detail shop? Yo, what's something wrong with it? We gotta take it to the Tesla John. We gotta take it to the John. We gotta go get it fixed. Yo, Elon gotta give that boy a little, you know what I'm saying, a little pick me up. Gotta give a little fix it. Bob the Builder beat. More and more things come out. They do. More and more information every time. Very, very interesting.
The car have already had something crazy go down in it. Was he planning to leave the body in the car? Was the car already containing a body and he couldn't drive it around? It's very interesting. Okay, it's actually very, very interesting.
Yeah, let me just narrow down here. Do you have the precise date of when that car, the one with the Tesla, with Celeste body inside, when it was left there? Do you know the specific date of when it was left in the Hollywood Hills?
I believe so. I believe it. July, late July, very late July, very late July.
So
very late July. Let me just. Oh my God, brother! Like, yo, you see this guy, bro? Like, do you just ever be quiet? Jesus. I'm gonna say late July. Okay, yeah, July's around here. So we see late July, early August. Celeste bodies estimate. Brother, can you move out of the way? Oh. Like, yo, what? I'm not gonna lie. Yo, I clicked on the exact spot. I don't know how I did that. I'm not gonna lie.
The Withered album. On April the 27th, he performs in Texas. May 2025, the car was seen moving spots on the street.
So yeah, this was the month prior, and then so this is about like the whole month of May, and then basically like going to the end of the month of July. So about like 2 months later. So again, if we're going by this is like May 2025 was when he was actually like, you know what I'm saying, like still using the black Tesla or whatever. That's the one. If you also see in this vid. That's, oh yeah, right there. Where we at? 3133. And it's also, don't forget, bro. Oh, this John blocking it. Also, don't forget, yo, he got a song. I'm pretty sure it's called like Drunken something. I know it's got the word. Why am I sitting here like I cannot look this information up? D4vd. Yeah. I forgot. Oh my god, I forgot this shit was called this jump, bro. It gets even worse. Oh my god, how is this shit even possible? So yeah, don't forget, he also has a song called Drink and Drive, so that's absolutely fucking fantastic, right? Going back to this on 31, 33. Yep.
She was estimated to have been left in the car, so it's possible she was murdered.
Yeah, so then, okay, this was like about 2 months. So 2 months prior to when, like, this is where we're assuming Celeste's body is now in this car and just left to be there with. Oh, that shit makes me mad. Anyway, moving on, because we need to get more and more info on Truly Talks Everything. After seeing the car, he just stops using this boy. So we're looking between this time frame of like, okay, why did you all of a sudden now start switching over to this red Tesla driving this boy? It's like, yo, and we already knowing this is the time, like in late July, that like Celeste's body is like estimated to be already in this black car. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Yo, this is fucking crazy. Like, hold on. Like,
one thing that we've heard, and this is something we've talked about, is the LAPD has seized footage from the rental property, multiple security cameras around the property. There are even reports of a smashed ring camera on the ground.
Yeah.
And according to TMZ, police seized all the footage from multiple security cameras at the house last month when they executed the search warrant. TMZ described that footage as a, quote, potential goldmine for investigators. And the question becomes, did you see anyone?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I would imagine, like, yo, this would be capturing, like, basically all the events, especially of, like, the surrounding areas of the house. We know, remember the one bull, hated, like, yeah, I mean, he found it, which was crazy, like, and, you know, gives more substantiation, but, like, you know, he picked up the key card. But anyway, what I'm getting to, yeah, a guy found a Tesla key card in, like, around the general area of David's house, and it's like, yo, why the fuck is this key card here? But I wish Bull, again, did not pick it up, because fuck, that bad boy could be used for evidence. Especially if that John is the key card for, you know what I'm saying, his black Tesla. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Damn it. But, like, yeah, you would imagine that any, like, surrounding surveillance footage, like, you know what I'm saying, ring cameras, anything coming from his surrounding houses would be fucking excellent. This shit would get, oh my god, bro. Should we be memeing around? No, I'll save it, brother. Ez was already saying I was disingenuous, or whatever. Fuck, I won't joke around that much, but like this would obviously be very fucking good for this John. You know what I mean? Like, I would imagine.
Coming into, or leaving that property after the Tesla was there. So after the Tesla with Celeste's body inside is there, can you tell us you saw people coming in and out of that property before the, let's say this, before the search warrant?
No, not from the time that the Tesla was left. So from the time the Tesla was left there, he literally immediately started the tour. There was a
Now the timing's interesting, right? He's saying from the time.
And this is why I said, like, yo, I'm not gonna hold you. He's trying to use going on the tour as plot. Yes. Hold on. Yeah, he's trying to use the tour as plausible deniability. The ability of an individual or organization to deny knowledge of or responsibility for an action or statement by presenting a believable alternative interpretation or lack of evidence. He's trying to use the tour as an alibi for, or like to play plausible deniability, that like, okay, how could this be him if he's on tour? How would that make sense? But if we're seeing again that he switched Teslas, and especially after finding out that he switched Teslas, the Tesla that he switched from, this is the one that Celeste's body was found in. Hey, yo, buddy! Whoa, buddy! I gotta ask you some fucking questions, my guy. Like, what the hell? Nah, bro, yo, this is insane. Holy shit, this update is crazy.
When
like,
Tesla was left there, he immediately went on tour. The dirty Tesla that hadn't been driven in months was dumped at that spot, and then he fled, got out there, went straight on tour. Now that's very interesting too, right?
tour bus.
like, I'm like, bro, that shit. Oh my god, holy.
That was leased, and I'll tell you that Tesla was moved, and literally a bus departed for tour.
Okay. You talked about things that might have been taken from.
It's like, yo, as soon as his Tesla was left there, buddy, he said, "Hi, man, we got shows to go on, man, bro." Yo, he said, "Yo, Moji, bro, who the bull? Yeah, nah, Moji the bull that on the Discord. Yo, Moji, make sure to pack up the Labubu's, bro. We gotta make sure to throw them shits off the jump." Bro, what the fuck? Bro, oh my god, this shit is getting me so fucking mad. Once more, we know that he switches Tesla. We're finding out that he now has a red Tesla as well. Did not even know this. No clue to this. Sure. He has a red Tesla now. He switches to a red Tesla after leaving his black Tesla. We know, we've seen from, you know what I'm saying, Tesla vid and all that. We've shown, right? He leaves that bad boy, starts riding in this red Tesla, and to that too, as soon as when this Tesla is basically bricked outside of his crib for like 3 weeks, yeah, man, he's going on tour. Hey, buddy, we got business. Business is business. No, business is motherfucker. I got some questions. Nah. This really some shit, babe, boy. Like
The house, things that you handed over to LAPD. Is there anything you can share with us about what that information may be?
One thing that you just brought up, and I guess what TMZ reported on, the security system. The house has got a very sophisticated security system, not just with cameras, but with sensors and all types of things. It all records to a DVR. And for privacy reasons, the owner, when he leased the house, said, this is the system that's in the house, and you can use whatever functions you want on it. That's not something that then the owner could access. So we don't know if the cameras were enabled or.
So hold on, just to make sure I'm interpreting this correctly. Hold on.
That's not something that then the owner could access. And all types of things. It all records to a DVR. And for privacy reasons, the owner, when he leased the house, said, this is the system that's in the house, and you can use whatever functions you.
So the owner, because as we know, David, LA mansion, this is what it is, $20,000 a month. His manager gets it under like his name, but it's obviously for David. But they're saying the owner of this crib is still saying you guys can use all the cameras, security functions, like however you please is what I'm like interpreting from this. However you please to that. And it's like, yeah, I'm not about to be going through it. You might as well just use it like, again, this is your house. It's obviously, it's a lease, but like, you might as well treat it like you own the crib, bro. I'm not even looking at these cameras. These your cameras to deal with. I'll tell you right now, man, damn, we could definitely use those. Facts. So, yeah, if these Jones really is a gold mine, get on that.
Want on it. That's not something that then the owner could access. So we don't know if the cameras were enabled or not enabled, but if they were, it wouldn't just be cameras.
Does this this gives plausible deniability? This is like question for any legal entities watching. What fucking legal entities are watching, truly? But like question just on an overall basis, see y'all opinion. Does this give plausible deniability for like the landlord? Like I don't think the landlord has any connection, but I think this especially would give him kind of like some plausible deniability because if you just gave the camera system to them, like you're not even monitoring that, John. It's like whatever means they were doing on that boy, hey, y'all can have all the footage. Like if the owner of the crib, well, not even if, like I would imagine you would do this, John, willingly, but like, yeah, you can have all the footage. I just gave it to them. I said, hey, brother, that's your footage to look over and make sure the house is good. I just need to make sure that y'all are paying me every month. You know what I mean? So I mean I feel like that could give them some definite plausible deniability, but I don't even think as a whole the landlord boy that owned like the LA crib that he was leasing, like he don't got nothing to do with it. Like.
We'd know anytime anybody came and went from the house, anytime anybody opened a window, everything, if they kept it like it was. But we don't know. LAPD came in and took that whole DVR. They took the entire system, which you would expect. And I've talked to the security company that installed the system, and they've told me, how it was set up. We think it was probably running because there's limited alerts that the security guy can see, which is stuff like if there's a major failure. And there was a low power failure warning that triggered right when they were executing the search warrant. I think that's when they unplugged the system. So there's reason to believe that the system was running. Whether the cameras were covered or not, I don't know. I can tell you that some of the smoke sensors in the house were covered, and that's probably because maybe I don't know what they were doing in the house. So the cameras might have been covered as well.
So
Damn, some of the cameras might have been covered. Shit. Well, obviously if they're covered, then it's gonna show like what fucking TV static black screen shit. Like, yeah, it's not gonna help. But with what ones weren't, like, still any potential footage would like obviously be helpful.
He's making it clear that apparently he's got absolute confirmation that the security system was working. It had a low power alert when they executed the search warrant. So that means that there's no way that the system wasn't working. Now, whether or not David manipulated the system, covered up cameras, but it sounds like the system was on. He's not saying, cameras were all off. He deactivated the system. There's not. No, it sounds like.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. Like, the owner, gave full access to David, like his team, people's in the joint. Y'all got it. They were using a security system. When they found it, it's on low power mode. How does it get to that? Well, I would assume it would have to be on for it to be draining its power and battery. So therefore, if it's on cameras, they got footage, sensors, picked up traces, motions, like, man, we getting along. We just like, the question is footage in the police investigation, like investigative hands, private investigative hands. If the answer is yes, excellent. Please sift through that boy to the maximum. Every day. That's what I'm saying. I looked at that John every single day, every hour, every minute of this boy. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, bro, come on now. Like, this John, the connections on like the end of like the Reddit sleuths and, you know what I'm saying, like internet detectives and all that, like, bro, the connections are so blatant and like broad. Again, I just showed you the what's the name, the drink and drive John with David and his Tesla. That's just a connection to him himself. But yeah, we were hearing that one John from that one head, which is technically rumor speculation because it's just coming from the conjecture of a random bull or whatever. Not saying like a random, but like the guy was saying when he worked at the jewelry store and David came in apparently with Celeste and she was looking strung out and all that, and then we were already looking at the footage of Celeste having an altercation with her neighbors, and it looked like she might have been smoking some drugs. So we already know like what you thought of that. So there's Jones like that, bro. Obviously, I already told y'all, already repeated. Yo, decide 7 years, striped sweater connection, like yo, David Celeste Island trip, like yo, there's so many Johns here to where it's like, brother, all we need is like just direct footage and all that, and we technically already got it with like the streams, you know, but like, bro, it's right there.
Like there indeed is information, and when they described it as a potential gold mine for information, apparently that was true. So
That's
he's
what
about
I'm
to say something
saying,
extremely
like,
interesting, right? When he
please.
says, look, we recovered a lot of stuff, but we don't really have much evidence of Celeste at that property. Right?
Fuck.
Right? We have a couple pictures of her taken by David, but we don't know what type of phone that it was taken on. And essentially, he goes on to say that likely she had another place that she was staying nearby, and David had her parked off out the way and not at that property.
So, you know, what we recovered, we don't have any of her at that property. We have pictures of her and that were taken by David, we assume, because it's not on a camera phone, but these photos are on a regular camera at different locations. And it really makes me think that it's likely she had another place she was staying. I can tell you that there was a lot of time spent towards downtown LA.
So they're saying,
Bro, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck?
He's inferring that they spent a lot of time at another place towards or in downtown LA where potentially Celeste had her own place. She might have had her own place to stay. And I'm going to show you something in a minute that backs that theory up.
I'll say the last photo that we have of Celeste is January 2nd, 2025.
Okay, now that's significant because we were wondering when.
Let's see. It's January 2025. Let me see. We don't got anything. Yeah, timeline don't got anything. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I'm just missing it. Nope, we got nothing for January. First thing we see is just February 2025, and that's the video of David cleaning Celeste's shoes. Man, this show is so aggravating.
And you know, she was last seen alive. There was that surveillance footage of her seemingly running away from her neighborhood.
And that was September of 24, I believe. So we didn't have anything. We were like, where was this girl in 2025? But we do have a photo of her on July 2nd, early in the morning, July 2nd, 2025.
So he's saying that there is a photo of her that was taken on the morning of July the 2nd, 2025, and she was still alive in July 2025, which again contributes to that theory that she maybe lost her life towards the end of July or early August, right before that tour started, okay? So that's what's really information. Now, he doesn't say that he has any more information about when she passed away, but he does say some more interesting stuff later on. So he's about to touch on the potential overdose theory, and he's basically going to say that he can't really put too much faith in that theory anymore.
I also think, even if
I'm not putting faith in that either.
first start looking at this case, I'm very much an Occam's razor type person where I think things are a lot easier than people try to make them sometimes, especially online, into these big things. And I thought this was going to be a tragic overdose, which it very well still could be. And they made a bad decision because they didn't want to expose the potential relationship and put her in this.
Delete everything. Oh man, like yo, it is actually infuriating. It's crazy. It's fucking insane. Oh my god.
Tesla, and then maybe he thought he could get somebody to get rid of that car, and they were just like, no, I'm not doing it, I'm not doing it, and just got left there. But I will say this, there are some things that...
Nah, I gotta take a pause. It's so direct. Oh my god. She's sitting right next to her, bro. And the shit that, like, oh my god, like, yo, just for all intents and purposes, literally what Celeste says. It's controversial to rape children? First of all, yes. Second of all, her herself being a child, oh my fucking god. Third of all, she's sitting right next to this nigga once more, just like she's sitting right across from the nigga in the Hello Kitty girl fucking post, the old girl post, the striped sweater connection shit. Oh my fucking god, bro. It's
And I'm talking physical evidence that was at that house. That is, there could have been greater plans as far as getting rid of her, and it's scary statistic stuff. And that's
That supports my motive. That supports my motive. That's what I'm saying. There's could have been greater plans. It's like, yo, I fucked up my life. I fucked up my optics. There's like, yo, the motive is, yo, okay, we gotta fix this shit, bro. Like, we gotta fuck. You know what I mean? We gotta do all this, John. So what you're gonna do? Maybe start some premeditated, John, and then you're gonna probably use your fucking music or whatever the fuck, maybe as a cover up. Now I'm getting into my own speculation, theory, conspiracy. I'm gonna keep it a buck. See, like, let's keep it a stack here. But like, no, seriously, going down this alleged hypothetical or whatever, like motive, it's like, yo, I could understand that. Like, that would make sense to me. It's like, yo, he already had like fucking thoughts, let's just put it like that, within his imagery, video, songs, and John like that. Itami, don't you dare forget about Itami. D4vd, David's still trying to solve his fucking crimes. Anyway, sidebar that. Yo, if it's really going down like my scenario or whatever, like lose optics, like, yeah, bro, he probably was meditating this out for a hot minute or whatever, bro. Like, there's no way. Like, that's not saying he was the one himself, again, allegedly, hypothetically taking the life of Celeste, but yo, there was definitely some type of plan in motion of going forward with this fucking tragedy. Oh my god, it's truly.
So he is saying that there's evidence, there's items, artifacts, potential tool. I don't know exactly what he's describing, but basically, look, I'm going to read between the lines. He said that he found physical evidence to that house that there could have been greater plans as far as getting rid of her. Buzzsaw, perhaps.
like, yo, that. Oh my god, and man. Because, yo, see, every time now I'm sitting here just thinking about more things, because they were saying the whole dismember thing cooked out. Like, we had shit, like, it's still speculation on whether well, we know for sure that, again, young girly pop Celeste, she was like decomposing and all that. Fuck, it's so terrible. I hate it. Can't. But like, yeah, they were saying speculation between, like, was it like decomposing like fully that, like, through that to that degree, or was it like part of this being dismemberment? And if there may be physical tools and all that, it's speculation. You know, obviously, again, speculation, rumors, conspiracy theories. Like, was there a physical tool or some junk being used? Because if there was, and it was something like a sharp object, it kind of supports the notion or theory that, like, you know, dismemberment. Like, I hate it. I just hate it all.
You know,
I do.
More tarpaulin. I feel like what he's inferring here, just in my opinion, is that he's inferring that he's seen other things at that house, evidence of that house, that made him think that there was going to be more work put in to get rid of that body and to try and cover this up. That's what I think he's saying, and he is saying from what he's seen, we don't know everything that he's seen, but from what he's seen, he no longer believes this.
Like that. Oh, that gets me angry.
Theory, and I think that's major.
That's why we're trying to learn more about that. I wish I could say more about it for obvious reasons I can't, but it doesn't have to do with how she died, but maybe how they were planning on ultimately getting rid of her, and how maybe that Tesla was just a holding spot of time, and things just, you know, their timing was just off as far as getting this done.
So he is saying literally they're
like, again, going down like this scenario, it's so fucking just abhorrent and terrible. Like, yeah, nah, dude, god damn it, bro, we fucked up the timing on this one, bro. Fuck it, you're just gonna have to go on tour, bro. I don't know what we're gonna do. You Again, crash out Trilly. Oh man, that ethereal crash is real. It's not real enough.
Might have been another bigger plan to get rid of her, and she might have just been put in that Tesla as a holding spot while they got things done, and before you know it, the body ends up getting found.
But there's a few things that were just like, will blow your mind.
He's saying the things he found in that house that the police didn't even take will blow your mind. All right, look, I really want to know what you're talking about here. Okay, so,
that's what I'm saying. Like so bad, bro. Bro, there was stuff that the police didn't take that the private investigator, the PI, thinks that. What were they? Like, obviously you'd want like the serious sources, duh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Obviously experts and things handle this. But like, yo, just a little bit of info. What? Oh, we need everything to figure this out. Because certain motherfuckers, they really want to delete everything. Nah.
With David, the lease on the house, and he says a couple more things that are interesting, then we're going to move on.
Anyone from David's team, management, legal, anybody reached out to you or your client?
I know that my client's been in touch with his manager, but only for the purpose of the lease, because they did ask to terminate the lease. And I believe the other manager that technically was the owner of the red Tesla, I think was in touch with him because they needed access to the house to get that vehicle and stuff like this. That's another thing that I think could be key in this, is that there's only one key to that house, and who had that and who had access to it and who was in it. Because we also have evidence that while David was on tour at the time between the Tesla being found and the search warrant being served, David was on tour, but somebody was in that house. And there was actually a report made, not the police, but that homeowner association has a robust private security company, and we've gotten videos from them and reports. And so who had that key is probably the same
I'm liking the sound of that one, baby boy.
person that had access to the Tesla.
So he's saying that while David went on tour, somebody had access
Shoot.
to that property, and there's only one key to that property.
That's what I'm saying.
Basically saying whoever that person who had access to the property,
Like, yo, if they got that full on footage, oh yeah, it's cookies, it's lights out. I'm going to be seeing your ass in the interrogation room stat.
probably had access to the Tesla, and they're probably they're in big trouble right now, because
Yeah, they are fucked, like beyond belief.
LAPD saying, well, body in a Tesla, who had access to this? Okay, it's in David's name, sure, but what about you? So it's really a bad look.
Shit, what did I say before? Man, somebody knows some shit. Somebody does. They do. But now I want to know who. And I know, broad level question. It's like, yeah, we all do want to know who as well. But seriously, with this though, only, again, like Trapler Ross was saying, only one person, better yet, even before that, there's only one key to this LA house that they're releasing. David was on tour. There was somebody going in and out of this crib. That one person could only be the one with the key. Okay, that same person with this key, since their red Tesla was in the house, would have, I'm assuming, access to that key to the Tesla. Wouldn't it be at the house? Who knows? I don't know. But presuming that as well, right? Who is that? Because without a shadow of a doubt, especially with, we're presuming that, the Tesla, the black one, is still just sitting there like on the block, collecting, not even. They know something. Yo, I'm telling you, it just gets me more and more and more mad. Like, it is truly frustrating. Like, we need to know who that is immediately. I mean, actually ASAP. Is there anything faster? Expedited shipping. I'll pay express. But we need it now. Like, yo, this is insane. Like, what?
You know who that person is, and do you believe that is the person that moved the Tesla?
So I believe, I definitely know who moved that Tesla in that late July before they went on tour. I can't say who person, I can't say for,
So, look, I already heard part of this, and a lot of people, I'm going to show you in a minute, have been really analyzing these next words. Now, some people seem to suggest, okay, the fact that he said, so I believe I definitely know who moved that Tesla before they went on tour. Now, some people do feel like, because he said before they went on tour, he's kind of slipped up and he's basically saying, yes, David. Because he's saying, so I believe I know who moved the Tesla before they went on tour, David went on tour. Unless it was somebody else in the on.
Wait, so I believe I definitely know who moved that Tesla on that late July before they went on tour. Nah, I don't assume this. Nah, I don't. Nah, I'm gonna go press X to doubt. I'm sorry. Like, yo, y'all should already know, especially by how I'm reacting to all of this. Like, yo, I want David to be more cooked than anybody else, but I do not think like, I'm not interpreting him as saying like, oh yeah, like David was the one who moved the Tesla and all that. Because again, like, yo, wouldn't it be better, like, more substantiated if, again, we're saying there's mad footage of all the houses around here, they got rings and all that. Like, when they look at that footage, they could see definitively what, if David especially is on tour, then who is that person, like we just discussed, that was going into the house and all that? Listen, okay, I'm gonna read this one more time. So I believe definitively, holy fuck, you can't grammar. I believe I definitely know who moved that Tesla on that late July before they went on tour. See, when he says they, I imagine this as like, okay, this could be interpreted in many ways, like how it is. This could be interpreted as, duh, David won himself. I also interpret this as maybe someone in his team, which could also be someone who, you know, was in the house, you know what I'm saying, when he was on tour or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Or this could, I don't know. It can't be family members. His family, we know his mom, dad, and his other siblings are in Texas, and this was in LA. So maybe someone else connected to him, like a friend, or I don't know. Somebody, but like, yo, I don't interpret this immediately as him saying, like, yeah, David was the one himself in the Tesla who moved it. Nah. I don't see him as saying that. Now, again, I definitely can understand the interpretation of that, and I'm not even leaving that out because obviously that could be the case. We don't know. That's why I'm saying I want to see these ring camera footage and all this different stuff going around, especially if that footage shows this person that we're talking about who definitely had the one key to the LA mansion, which would I would presume also have access to that red Tesla, because the key to that, David's on tour. Why the fuck would he need a key to his Tesla? It's going to stay in his fucking house. Like, it's probably going to be in there too. You know what I mean? I want to see that. Like, yo, show me that.
Taraji, what I'm talking about, it's just like, it might be a little Freudian slip of the tongue. He might have just sort of
I agree with Trapler Ross on that. I need to, funny enough, I need to put this on the Trexicon, Freudian slip, and like, yo, shout out Pope Dior, and I'm saying, okay, he calls it the Freudian clips or whatever, but hold on, let me show you what that means. Freudian, how do you spell this again? Yeah, Freudian slip. Okay, yeah. Here. A Freudian slip or a parapraxis is an accidental mistake in speech or action. Or my bad, am I blocking it? No. Okay. Is an accidental mistake in speech or action that is believed to reveal a person's hidden thoughts, feelings, or desires. So, like, in this interpretation, like, oh man, the private investigator guy, like, you know what I'm saying, this guy right here, like, oh man, he didn't mean to say that, John. Like, duh. Like, I'm actually really, like, well, stupid eyes, but like. But this is serious within regards to this, because obviously it's very serious in this incident. But like, yeah, again, like he may have like had a figure of speech slip or whatever, like he was talking fast, like he didn't mean to say that, John. But like, at least how I'm interpreted, going off of Trilly's opinion, I think that this could be a multitude of people. This could be David himself. Like, okay, so you know how we're saying David's motive for this whole incident happened? It could be many, like, allegedly, hypothetically different things. I think within this right here of this guy saying this could like be different things. You know what I'm saying? I think one of them is obviously could be David. Another one could be someone of his team. Another one could be like one of his friends or something like that, like, or someone like that. You know, someone close to him. And I wrote to regard to you. I'm spitting up and Joan, bro. Nasty, Trilly, right? My bad. But anyway. Right, I think it could be like one of those three and or any other options. I think his family's cut out because once more, again, his family, they're in Houston. We already know that. But like, it's probably one of those three. I do not think he's saying definitively here that like, oh yeah, the one who definitely moved that Tesla in late July, it was David, wink, wink, haha, you know what I'm saying, nudge, nudge. Like, nah, I'm not gonna take it as that immediately, because then that's just jumping to conclusions too heftily. And like, again, like I just said earlier, and I'll say once more, like, yo, I want this motherfucker D4vd 445 to be cooked more than ever. Let me tell you. But at the same time, if we jump hefty on like these Johns and like just start believing, like, you know, not saying believe in whatever, because obviously he's a great source, but start just trying to interpret Johns, it's like most cooked immediately. Like, yo, this is a bad way to go about it. Like I say all the time too, you need to be objective about Johns. You need to parse through, like, break Johns down, especially. You know what I mean? So yeah. Once more, final, again, TrillTalksEverything. I think that this could be, when he says this could be a multitude of people, not just directly saying that this is David.
Only revealed, like, before he went on tour, like, you know, before my man went on tour, you know, the guy went on tour. Not necessarily 100% sure, but I do think that's interesting.
I don't know who exactly was in the house, because it's just a report, but there's video. But
so you notice he didn't say, oh, that person who was in the house was the same person who moved the Tesla. He didn't say that. He said they went on tour. Whoever moved the Tesla, in his opinion, is somebody who went on that tour, not somebody who was left staying in the house in charge of the Tesla. These are interesting details.
See, this is what I'm saying. That's why I said it could be David, one on his team, or like, yo, it could be one of these heads. Like, yo, there could be a multitude of different people.
Make a person out, but somebody was in the house, and being that there's only one key, it's like, okay, who had access at that time? So is it the same person?
Other John was saying
was another last part of the plan about to go in motion as far as getting rid of her body.
He's inferring that whoever that person was might have been complicit. He's saying was there the final part.
Because that's what I'm saying. That makes more sense to me. Like, the person that is at the crib has the one key to the house. Like, yo, the black Tesla is parked outside. The red Tesla is just chilling in the garage. Like, yo, this person knows something. Like, there's no way. Like, oh my God. Like, this shot is going to be fired up, boy.
The plan about to go in motion as far as getting rid of her body. What were the artifacts that were left at the house? Were these artifacts that were left in the possession of a person left at the house? I'm not going to lie. Like, it sounded like he might have left somebody in that house with a whole mess and said, hey, you're going to have to sort this out. Maybe.
This is what I'm saying. Oh my God. Like, yo, I'm like, yo, that motherfucker, if they know them, like, yo, if he really knows them, like, yo, we got to get that motherfucker in an interrogation room. He knows something. There is no, yo, oh my God. Nah. I'm telling y'all, we just broke it down. Like, it just makes so much sense to me. Like, yo, this person, once more, one key to the house. They have it. David's on tour. Yo, the Tesla, black Tesla's parked outside. Red Tesla's in the garage. We would imagine the key to that Tesla is in this crib. Like, they gotta know something. And like Trapper Ross said, it could have been a scenario going on another one where, yeah, kind of on the, oh no, this would be going back on the, like, he was framed. That's a whole nother stupid John was dumb. That one that he was framed should be absolutely crossed out. Like, why that's not a motive. Like, my bad. That should be definitely crossed out. He was not fucking framed. This is bullshit. Anyway. This is going on a factor of, like, yeah, optics, lose. Yeah, he realized, oh, yeah, man, terrible. But he couldn't obviously do this John himself, allegedly, hypothetically. So, yeah, he left somebody else with the mess, the incident. Yeah.
They didn't want to.
I don't know.
Now, we heard this.
So basically, he goes on to talk about, you know, the DA talking about the case. He didn't really say anything specific, so that's not that interesting. So he'll go on in a minute to touch on the dismemberment theory, and he's going to once again hint that there were some things in the property that maybe hinted towards them planning to chop the body up. So check this out.
For these charges, can you get it or not get it? Listen, a crime 100% happened here. At minimum, it's the concealment of a body, right? So we know somebody did that. Hopefully, it's not, you know, a mutilation. Hopefully, those initial reports were wrong about her being dismembered. But one thing I have to say, even though I talked about how we found some things that could have meant they had a really twisted plan in place to get rid of her, it never went in motion. So
he's saying he has seen some things. He doesn't want to say what, but he has seen some things that hint towards a twisted plan being in motion to get rid of her body.
Oh my fucking God. Don't tell me, bro. What the fuck? Bro, this nigga, like, really, bro. This is like, okay, going back to motives. This is kind of going, like, it also in this, but, like, it's weird. I feel like this is a blend, like, legit, I'm not even playing. This is a blend between my motive of lose-lose and the dark, twisted fantasy, motive. Like, on the Tommy motive. Bro, what the fuck is even going on here? Holy fuck, dude. God damn it, bro. Like,
I think he's talking about tools to cut up the body and get rid of it.
like, that's the first thing you would assume. I don't even blame Trevor. Like, that's what I would assume too. Like, we already were hearing, like, the speculation, rumors, or whatever, because, you know, I guess it was never substantiated that, like, it was either dismemberment. It was definitely definitely to a pretty good degree too, and it's fucking horrible. Like, you know what I'm saying, decomposing. But, like, yo, we were saying that they found, like, what, a head and a torso, and God, and then obviously, you know, what Celeste was wearing and all that. Motherfuckers, these fucking pieces of shit. Anyway, like, yo, there had to be more, like.
And he's saying that plan never went into motion. Very, very interesting.
So you can't charge somebody for a crime that they may have thought about doing. So, you know, we may never know more about that.
What?
Interesting.
So you can't charge somebody for a crime that they may have thought about doing. So.
Y'all, maybe I'm fucking dumb. Like, am I stupid as shit? Like, no, maybe I'm dumb. Am I tripping? Premeditated. Of an action, especially a crime, thought out or planned before. Like, maybe it's because they can't connect that date. but there's so many. Fuck. I fucking hate the law. Like, obviously, I don't fucking hate it in that sense, because duh, law is the justice. But sometimes with these legal loopholes and shit on how these goddamn motherfuckers can hire 3-star hunters, you know, the best in the fucking business, who have covered for Harvey Weinstein. You can hire these motherfuckers who are fucking excellent, the best in the business at PR too. Apparently on social media PR, funny enough. Oh, damn, what is that? What does David post on social media, TikTok and bullshittery? That's real fucking crazy, let me tell you. I hate it all.
So, you know, we may never know more about that.
So Steve,
So they're saying you can't charge someone with a crime they thought about doing if there were tools in the property that they were potentially, likely, possibly going to be used to cut up a body, but they were never used, then you can't charge them with doing that.
True.
Now, this was a really interesting interview.
But I just still on a factor of like, if these tools are here and they look highly suspicious on a factor of like, yeah, these could be used to, you know, do a crime of the highest degree, like a murder, potentially, hypothetically. Yeah, doesn't that give like seeking suspicions? And then we're gonna look back. Hey man, David, weren't you the same guy that said you loved gore and how that you had Live League bookmark on the home tab? I'd like to ask you some further questions.
I think the thing that he said about Celeste potentially having a property of her own, not too far from David. Now, this has been supported by another post that's been going around on Reddit. They're saying this is proof that David rented his first place in Hollywood while still renting a second. Was this Celeste's secret hideout? Now, this basically says, following on from the other post regarding his first rented property, why wasn't it searched? Was this where he kept Celeste whenever he went out of state touring? Did the incident actually happen at this address? It's effectively the same street 1 mile down from where she was eventually found. And yes, there's some property history someone's pulled up. I'm not going to show the location of the property in this video. People saying, I'm not going to lie, I'm proud of how locked in you are, man. And the guy's just saying, I'm just saying, look at the date. He got rid of it in March. Me and others have been speculating that something happened early this year, January, February, and all of a sudden the place was up for rent again in March. People are saying it's starting to add up. I remember when the OG sub was up, we would get flamed for saying she might have died in spring of this year, early 2025. But now more and more stuff is pointing to exactly that. People are saying, interesting how it went up for rent in March. He no longer needed it for Celeste. That's not July, that's March. I swear this fits my timeline, okay? And SF just said it happened at a different address in that video, so this address must be...
So then, yeah, that would be substantiating that, like, yeah, it wouldn't have happened, like, closer to, like, you know what I'm saying, April, my stupid May, like, July, around that time. Like, yeah, it would be shooting up towards March.
Until March 2025.
Interesting, hold up.
Before that video dropped, so the internet detectives are absolutely grinding it out right now and trying to get to the bottom.
Yeah, hold on, let me bring timeline again. We see March, April, yeah, look, March 25. What type of fucking grammar? The fuck was that? Like, anyway, I've never been in dumbass allegations. We got March 2025, the day Celeste previously. And yo, motherfucker, you gonna move?
By September, David's getting that
Okay,
tattoo on his
wait.
finger birthday every
It apparently had. Nope. Again, no.
There's a video of Celeste Toad. Okay, just kick my camera by. Less shoes, the Jordan 4s that were seen. She was seen wearing them, and he was seen cleaning them. Also.
Let me see. Okay, yeah, March 2025, the day Celeste previously said the baby was due. We already know Celeste being pregnant got absolutely debunked. That's like not a thing. And in April 2025, Celeste potentially had her life taken during around this time. At least this is what the timeline says. But then we're shooting this like, yeah, we're taking it from April to like basically back up into March and even before that. Because if we're saying he's deading, if he's not deading, he we are right. He got rid of this apartment or whatever. He no longer needed it. Yeah, it kind of does line more or less with that because once more again, this timeline at very least is saying Celeste, like, you know, was in April, like when this would have potentially happened was in April. Jeez, man, again, things are lining up.
Okay, and this is more analysis from that video. People saying now it's getting interesting. Update: the PI in David's case thinks Celeste Rivas died in early 2025, January, February, at another home that David.
Because yeah, if we're saying like Triller repeats himself, but yeah, that like again would make sense. Like going along with what the other heads were saying, because March, if we're saying did Jesus, yo, I got a grammar, bro. It's so bad on my part, bro. You already know. Slipping. Never gonna be making good videos. Anyway, seriously though, this John saying April. If we're pushing this back up to March, then like yeah, this would like if this is at March, then this John like all this like just shoots up. Like I ain't gonna lie. I don't know though. Anyway,
was renting that's 1 mile down the same street she was found. He also alludes that David's friend Neo may have been the one to move the Tesla. So people are suggesting this guy Neo might have been the one who was looking after that property. People are saying, why is this guy spreading misinformation? He never said anything about the house being 1 mile away. He didn't say that the house was 1 mile away. He said towards downtown. Okay. And people have basically found this other property. Okay. People are getting flamed in the comments here, but then they're bigging it up in the other comments. Okay. They're saying never mention that house specifically. They're saying the only thing that holds me back from fully believing this timeline theory is that her brother said her last communication was sometime in July or August. Could it have been David himself keeping up the story? Perhaps we'll see. It's possible someone who wasn't Celeste was using her phone to text. If I recall correctly, the brother said their last convo was over text and not on the phone. So hypothetically, someone definitely could have been posing as her, right?
It's a good speculation because that could be the case. Like if David were to per se be like taking her phone or some jazz.
They're saying, yeah, if Celeste died early 2025, I find it hard for David to keep up all the conversations on her phone, especially since she may have used Spanish too. I'm thinking she died July 21st, and the 911 calls because they're fighting, so he turned up the music loud to mask her yelling. So people are going crazy for these new revelations. It's being posted in a whole bunch of different places. You know, the PI has done a few different interviews. He did one on News Nation, and everybody's commenting, basically saying more info released in this video. He says the video footage of the last time the car moved was July 29. He says the person left town after moving the car. He said the air freshener was put in there after moving the car for the last time, and the person was driving with the window rolled down. He said, as you can see what the person looks like, what they're wearing. Pictures of the person can be seen 12 hours earlier, possibly in those party photos. So more and more information is coming out. Saying, listen to what the PI says. He says the Tesla is moved, then a tour bus pulled up right after. And then on News Nation, he said something similar. The person parked the car and then went on tour. Did Neo go on tour with David at all? Very curious if he maybe went for just a
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, did he go with him? Because this is what we're speculating. Like, yo, that person would have been on tour with him.
too. And they're saying, yes, Neo went the first day, July 30th, in San Francisco. Asia went too. There he is wearing a Celestial Hello Kitty zip-up. First show of the tour. Went Hello Kitty on him. There you go, man. There you go. It's very interesting. People saying, I really wonder who it is. What do you think? I know friends are important, but the first person I would potentially call would be a family member.
And that's what I was saying, but that's already ruled out because, again, his family is in Texas and he would be in LA.
Just me, and of course, hypothetically speaking, since I never plan on killing anybody, but it could be David still, could be Neo, but is Caleb old enough to drive? Then again, he says something about the person wearing the same clothing in the party photos. I really don't know. Has anyone checked Neo's Instagram? They're showing outfits, saying, I'm certain this is Neo one day before the tour inside David's house. There's the iconic piano, all right? People saying, Jesus Christ, if it does end up being this turbo idiot, then he's extra effed. The numbskull made a spelling and grammatical error, riddled Instagram post a few weeks back saying how the truth will come out and everything is going to be wrong or something.
Oh, everyone's gonna be wrong. I don't know about that, brother. I wouldn't be too confident on that, brother. I don't know. I mean, again, we don't know until everything comes to a conclusive, you know, like, you know, obviously after evidence, you know what I'm saying, this goes to like court, a trial and all that. We'll see definitively then, but I don't know if I would be too confident if I was him.
So there you go. It says the night Neo wore red and David wore a shirt saying smile if you're horny. It was Tara Yummy's 25th birthday party. Celeste Herrera and the others were also there. The day before, where David was wearing Sounds Gay, I'm in shirt. Won't be surprised if these are the so-called distinctive clothing that Steve is talking about, but his comments are a bit conflicting from the Law YouTube channel and what he said on Banfield, so at the moment I'm still confused. And somebody's posting some of his tweets. It says, let's speculate that the Tesla was moved the last time and left in the parking spot it was impounded from right before the tour started in San Fran. But who actually moved the Tesla the final time? You don't get answers unless you ask, so I'll ask, was it Neo? Just curious. And people are posting this picture of them together. He's wearing that shirt that said horny, got the red shirt there, very distinctive clothing, all right? So people are pointing the finger now and they're wondering who it is. All right, and then people are also reposting this new analysis of basically SF saying that he no longer believes it's an OD. Basically recounts everything that he said in that Law and Crime interview we already.
Yeah, that's what I was saying when we first heard it, John. Like, I don't think it was.
So it says the private investigator mentions that at first he was leaning towards it being an OD and a panicked cover-up. However, it seems he's changed his mind because he uncovered a bigger plan to get rid of her. The evidence, which is very sadistic, that it would blow your mind. Those were his words. He strikes me as a very matter-of-fact person, not someone who sensationalizes things. So it's very telling he used such strong words. I think we're going to be in for a big shock when all these details come out. He thinks the body was found before this plan could unfold. If it was a simple OD, I don't think they could have planned a sadistic way to dispose of her body. Add to this the fact that David shows zero remorse in his social media posts, and some almost have a petty or passive-aggressive tone to them. Right? So, it's very, very interesting. Okay? It says just the way David...
So he said that, like, yo, honestly, that is true because, yo, like, just going on tour still, obviously, and he's just doing his shows, he's throwing the boo-boos off the stage like it's crazy. But they did say in that one show, like, he was breaking down crying, but, we're still trying to speculate what that was for. I think we know. We might be able to draw some conclusions on why he may be crying, but at the same time, if he's still going to other shows and shows and throwing the boobas off the stage, doing all this different John, looking happy, uptight, all this John, like, well, not uptight, but like, you know what I'm saying, happy, upbeat, that's what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying, man, energetic, doing all this jazz. It's like, yeah, he doesn't look remorseful and all that. Again, that's why I just keep asking, yo, what the fuck on here, bro? But I mean, we are kind of figuring out what's going on here. We getting more info. That's what the whole thing with the update.
Carried on touring and had no care she was missing made it seem deliberate to me. People saying not only did he not care, he was blowing hearts to other women and clearly had moved on with no issue. Soulless.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he throwing the boo-boos off the stage and bullshittery. Like, he doing all this different, like, you know what I'm saying, more influencer John. You not looking like anything's going on, right? He just still doing this, like, I'm the famous singer-songwriter guy. I gotta go be this icon. Tommy. Like, bro, do not piss me off. Like,
Not only did he not care, he was blowing hearts to other women and clearly had moved on with no issue. Soulless, right? So yeah, people saying that he didn't just expect her body to be found and they hadn't identified her yet, so he probably thought he had a chance to form a defense until she was. Now he's shaking in his damn boots, and so are his accomplices. They're saying that's David right now, just buried in his own mess. Okay, everybody is just going crazy on Reddit over those interviews. Okay, they're saying big clues have been dropped. This one says Steve Fisher of SF Investigates was interviewed by Ashley Banfield, and he dropped a major clue. He said he knows exactly who that last person who drove the Tesla was. He couldn't divulge the name, but he said the last person to drive the Tesla was caught on camera July 29th. He positively ID'd the same individual from said video from another video, possibly live streaming, shot inside David's residence 12 prior to the car dump video, because they were wearing the same clothes in both videos. So who has any video involving David from July the 28th? The answer lies within that media, and everybody's posting this picture of Neo. It's very likely Neo. This was in David's house one day before the...
that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, if we're seeing it's one day before he goes on tour, and then we're saying the tour bus pulls up literally right after, bruh.
tour, notice the distinctive clothing that Steve was talking about. Let's point into that red shirt once again, right? People are mocking his fit. People saying, maybe it's Neo. No wonder he went private on all his socials. And Steve...
Oh, he went private on all his shits? Oh, I'm definitely... Never. I'm looking at you like...
directly asked about him in a tweet a few days ago, which we already saw. So yeah, people saying, I also found it interesting. The PI also said that after the car was last parked, the tour bus pulled up immediately, and then said again on...
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, bro, they said, like, as soon as they got the car parked, like the Tesla, bam, tour bus pulls up, they out. Like, y'all dipped out. Like, no, just a little chilling. Now we gotta just go straight out for the tour. Why is that? Is there something wrong with the Tesla? Like, yo.
News Nation, the car was parked and the person left on tour. Very interesting detail. Could be David who did it, unless Neo went on tour with him. He totally said whoever it was left town immediately after. It's only a matter of time before it gets out. I really wish there was a public video of him and his crew put out there on the 28th. That is what is the key, right? They're saying that this is David. Looking at the timeline, this post makes me so mad. All giddy over his tour, while a 14-year-old he groomed is dead in his car. Such a creep. And that's him saying, I need all this.
That's what I'm saying.
Please, bro, please.
This motherfucker, yeah.
He's gonna be singing all types of song in a pen, man. I reckon.
23 hours solitary confinement, never seeing that sunshine.
My personal opinion. In my personal opinion.
I agree. Mine as well.
Right, so everyone's analyzing Steve's wording on his interviews very, very carefully. Okay, this is what I broke down already, where it says, so do you know who that person is who moved the Tesla? I believe I definitely know who moved it on late July before they went on tour. Okay, not before David went on tour. He says they. Does this mean that whoever was moving the car went on tour with David and was traveling him? I personally thought it could have been when he said they, he was referring to David. But he also mentions them back at the house while on tour. Wasn't there any pics of him live or streaming from that house in late August, early September when he had a couple of days off? I was wondering if he hinted at it being David. But people are saying that was debunked. The house he went back to was in Houston, and he did have a chance to go home on August the 2nd to the 5th, but we don't have any proof at the moment. So with all of this going around, okay, basically everybody's saying that it's over for David. They're reposting everything that was said.
Again, been that. All they can, yo, as we're seeing more and more Johns, now we're seeing his one man's Neo here, and it's connecting and lining up that what the PI said with the fit matching. It looks like he got on the same shirt. It looks like Neo went out with him on tour, bro. Some more of these heads need to be looked at.
All the stuff that Steve Fisher has found, this is in reference to the surveillance footage that shows the last time the Tesla was moved. People are saying it's over, saying, bro, okay, now we want to know who last drove it. Everybody's trying to work it over. People are saying it's not over, but hopefully this will push the investigation forward. If LA can verify and confirm the information, the case could move regardless of the toxicology report. Some people are saying, before everyone jumps to conclusions, it's good to remember private investigators and media reporters don't equal verified guilt. Let the facts come out. Still, this is looking heavy. I hope law enforcement handles it carefully. Okay? People saying, yet they still have the Epstein files under lock and key and are sitting... Man, I ain't trying to...
Yeah, we immediately get into the Epstein files, yo. I mean, in fairness, I mean, yeah, that John is some bullshittery, bro. Like, obviously, they need to release these shits, bro. Then there's the shit, again, with Diddy, bro. He got it acquitted of his shits. Like, yeah, there's a lot of shit where, yeah, our U.S. justice system is failing the fuck out of us.
I ain't trying to get iced out here, man. I've got to be careful what I say. But anyway... it says is another clip that saying Celeste was living in downtown LA. Not enough people are talking about these comments. He said that there doesn't appear to be evidence she was living with him in that house, and it seems she was living with someone in downtown. Pretty sure he said towards downtown. But anyway, this begs the question, who was she living with? For how long was she living with them? Was that person having access to David's Tesla? People are saying technically that spot isn't downtown LA. It's, however, down the street from Vieiro Drive House. Touche. I was just pulling from the words he used. I'm curious who was living at that residence. And they're posting the address of it, which he no longer lives at, so this isn't doxing anybody, but that address is about. It's about. I was trying to cover it up, but it's there. No one, yeah. Oh well.
He said no doxing.
So a lot of people have been pointing out. Hang on a sec. a lot of people have been pointing out that it seems like Celeste's social media accounts have been reactivated. People are saying, how are Celeste's social media accounts being reactivated than deactivated by her siblings? Do they have her cell phone? I highly doubt they would have her social media usernames and passwords because we know she didn't get along with them for one, and Celeste may have been gone from home for at least a year or close to it. So how are they logging into her accounts? Do they have her cell phone? And if they do, how did they get it? Police has never mentioned retrieving it or the data, etc. People are saying that that's not true. I did see reports that one account was active again, and people were speculating that the police might be the ones to activate it and look through it, but people are saying that that's not true, so that's my bad. Now, this is another creepy clip going around that's showing David with an
I say, yeah, if it's not like substantiated, then it's like
OTF knife 8 months ago. Now, I don't know if that's some kind of only the family knife, or I don't really know about knives like that.
D4V idiots. Wait, D4D yachts? Wait, what the heck?
From London. But yeah, people are saying this is super creepy, and they're speculating and saying, is this part of the sadistic stuff that the PI might have uncovered at the house?
I don't even know if you're allowed to show knives on Twitch, but bro, look at this knife I got, bro. Chromium, chromacopia, chromacopia. Oh, you said don't show it? You can't? I can't? Are you for real? You lying? You lying? You lying? You lying?
So yeah, David was getting busy on there, man. People are saying, I bet that was to be used. If he openly shows a knife on stream, what else was he hiding behind closed doors, okay? People saying, yes, this is different than the music videos or his cosplay stuff. It's him in his natural environment with a real knife. Why has he got that knife? Why has he got that knife? What do you need that knife for? People are saying, Steve Fisher said that the items discovered were most likely for getting rid of her remains, and they were large. I'm guessing some sort of power tools, a trash compactor, maybe a wood chipper. I hate to think about
A wood chipper? Oh my god. Yeah, you know, definitely wasn't that.
those things, but that's where my mind went when he said that. Now, another clip's been circulating where people are saying this is Celeste actually off camera. People are saying, I've just discovered this video clip in case others haven't seen it. Fast forward to 1 minute 42nd, where Neo and David both say Celeste to a third female that has a voice very similar to the 14-year-old Celeste, and is not two of the females visible in the first segment or minute of the video. They quickly motion to her with their hand to keep her off camera. But then people are saying it's the older Celeste, Celeste Ferreira. But let's check it out.
I say, yeah.
Let's check it out.
Let's see.
Those are mine. Those are mine. That's water. That's water. What is this?
So they're saying it was the other Celeste, but hey, man, it's definitely a little bit creepy. And when was this?
July 4th.
This was July the 4th, 2025. Very, very interesting. Now, there's a new comprehensive timeline of the whole case that's dropped with some of this new information. Okay, this is in David Idiots. It says, resource, most of the up-to-date and comprehensive timeline of the David and Celeste case so far. We're looking for the most up-to-date timeline of the case. We're looking for a timeline that includes all the data. If you know of a timeline, add it in the comments. It's not been added yet, but I've seen a whole bunch of interesting timelines that will now need to be updated with some of these new dates in mind, because
That's what I'm saying. Yo, funny enough, once more, hold on. Wait, where'd it go? Where'd it go? I know I got it. Because, yeah, we've been looking at this timeline the whole time. But, yeah, now we need, like, I'm not going to lie, we need a whole fresh new jump. It's like, yo, obviously, things on here definitely still align to, like, the dates, like, that things happen. Obviously, such as, like, the day the incident unfolded or, like, when, you know, the public knew about it and such like that. But, like, yeah, there's a bunch of things we're seeing now to where it's, though, yeah, we might need to put some more, you know what I'm saying, things under some of these dates, like, even with some of the things that still happen on these, but like, yeah, we definitely need to put more events on it.
But I've seen a whole bunch of interesting timelines that will now need to be updated with some of these new dates in mind, because everybody is speculating when this person went on tour. We know when the tour happened. We know when the car was moved, all that stuff. So somebody's going to bring all of that together in one big timeline. I'm going to keep an eye out once they do actually put that together, because I'll come back and I'll break it all down for you guys. But
Oh, absolutely be viewing that, because yeah, a comprehensive timeline would be absolutely even better for this, like, with updated information. Because when did this video come out? Hold on, like, when did I drop this video? 3 weeks ago. So yeah, this happened about like almost like a month ago. So like, yeah, there's definitely been a lot of things that have unfolded within this, giving new information and conjecture that absolutely can go on a new timeline.
But yeah, that's the latest update, man. The private investigator is basically saying that there was all kinds of dark demonic tools in the house that he believes were going to be used to dispose of the body. He's saying that Celeste might have had her own house a little bit parked off just away from David, a mile down the road. And people are saying that that house suspiciously had the lease ended and it was back on the market in March of this year. So all of that together, I don't know if that's looking good for David, but still been no
I would just tell you no. I would just tell you it's not. No, sir.
updates from the police, still no updates officially, still no suspects being named. So, hey, for all we know, David could be innocent. For all we know, okay? But the fact
I'm gonna go with now.
Steve Fisher is also writing off the OD story.
Well, now, Betty, I'm not even gonna go with now, but just ask you of what? Like, of being the one directly who took the life of Celeste? Maybe. Of D4vd 405? No. Base association? Definitely not.
I think that's really interesting because that's one of the most plausible defenses that I think anybody has brought up in this situation so far. But we're gonna have to keep waiting, man. So I'll keep you guys updated if I find any more info. Tap in with the other videos that I dropped yesterday. I'm talking about a whole bunch of different issues. I know some people are just here for the David stuff. Some people want to hear what else I got going on. I got members only video on Jeffrey Epstein that I did for you guys a few days ago. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, I'm gonna do some more videos today on some of the other dramas going on, the Playboy Carti stuff, all of that, his wife and Lucci thing going on. So I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you for tapping in and watching. I'll catch you in the next video. I'm out here. Peace, gang. Thank you.
You already know, man. Of course. Shout out, love with TLR. Trapler Ross. You already know, baby. That was, yo, I'm telling you, it be every video now I be saying this, John, with the UI. But, yo, we got dark new evidence might cook D4vd. David. Of course, you guys would like to watch the OG video by Trapler Ross because you already know from Trilly. La Yap Sesh without the Yap Sesh. Down in the description. First link, sure to love it, of course. DLR, Trapler Ross. And, final opinions and conjecture. He's looking more cooked. He is indeed looking more cooked. More and more cooked than ever. Nah, I'm dead serious. Again, I really just want to, with the PI, the private investigator saying like, yo, there was only one person, better yet, even before that. The car, we know the Tesla was sitting outside of the house. We know now that there was also another red Tesla. Why didn't David, D4vd, why did he stop driving his Tesla, his black Tesla, start switching to a red Tesla? I wonder why he did that. We also know the PI said that there was a bunch of, you know what I'm saying, like cameras, of course, like ring cameras around and surrounding, like, you know what I'm saying, houses in the neighborhood or whatever. We could look through those, see, especially if we're getting into the person, or even before that, he's saying that, yo, when they went in and did a private investigation themselves on the house, like, yo, they saw a lot of stuff that they would have even took in, because even like Trapler Ross was saying, but better yet, the private investigator was saying, there was probably some tools that was looking a bit off, and especially with this incident like arising and happening, yeah, for David to have, so, and they would have took them, so, yeah, that's a bit crazy. And then we know, like, last but not least, with respect to being this Neo guy, but even sidebarring that, because, like, with that one part that we were going over with the guy basically saying in late July or whatever, who was the they that moved the Tesla or whatever, or last person to move the Tesla. But again, going off of even before that, really ups everything. The person that David's on tour, but there was a person at the house that not only had the one key to the house, because there only is one key, but also most likely had the key to the red Tesla and all that. But to that, yeah, man, if it's one of his heads, especially someone that went on tour with him, that's really not good. Not at all. In no manner. So yeah, to that, we're really gonna have to see when more information comes out, because yeah, within this update, yeah, this was a huge one, and definitely is pushing more towards the motives that David might have been well, not might have been, we know for sure might have been a bit more sinister on this than we thought, even though we already thought this evil nigga was an evil motherfucker, at least if you're not a G-boy. I can't stand him for anyone. But yeah, once more again, shout out TLR, Trapler Ross, our hip-hop commentary goat, baby. And other than that, I'm finna be catching y'all on the flip, baby. Peace.